Hello everybody, welcome to my second video. Today I will make a brief explanation about what helps to have a flat stomach again after giving birth. So, tip number one is to have a healthy nutrition during pregnancy, of course, preferably already before, which also helps with conception. So paying attention to healthy fats, healthy carbohydrates, very limited amount of refined sugars, and plenty of vegetables, fruits and all that jazz. So I also took some supplements, but I was personally very careful with sugars, for example, as it also affects the baby quite much and the doctors don't explain it in much detail. And it was quite a challenge because the third trimester was in the Christmas period, so there was cookies all over the place, and I could not, I took one or two, but I usually brought my own gluten-free, sugar-free cookies to withstand the temptation. So that was my solution. And yeah, lots of women, they think, oh, someone's having a party. Lots of women think, oh, but pregnancy I should eat for two. And yes, you will need more nutrition. I just think it's important to make a wise choice in terms of what you put inside your body, because your baby will also have that. So I ate more also in the beginning, at least, and I had also midnight snacks in the third trimester. But also the further along you get in pregnancy, the more your stomach gets squeezed, so it's often that you can only tolerate smaller amounts of food, but then you maybe have more regular or more often meals than usual. Tip number two is that during pregnancy, for most women, the stomach muscles, they split. I don't remember the correct Latin medical term for it, diastasis recti or something. I never know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. If you're pregnant or in postpartum, you will come across that term in case your stomach muscles are split. Mine were probably too. So during pregnancy, instead of when you lay down like this, now I'm gonna do it, and then you want to go up, you should avoid to do this kind of movement. You should turn to the side and then push yourself up with the arm, you know. So all kind of sit-up movements you should avoid, because that will help the splitting of the stomach muscles, which you don't want to promote. But most of the time it happens anyway. So that brings us to tip number three, which is the postpartum period after giving birth. And as I said, the stomach muscles, they often split, and women get impatient and they want to do sports very quickly after. But if the stomach muscles didn't have a chance to go back together, then you will actually just promote the splitting, and they will go even further apart or don't have a chance to reconnect and heal. So you can do all the sports you want, it's not gonna help to get away that flappy skin that probably every woman has after giving birth. When I saw myself, I was like, oh my god, am I gonna always look like this, or what can I do? Luckily, oh, my arm is getting tired. Carrying my son the whole day, nearly 12 kilos, and I can feel it now with the small cell phone. Sorry. So luckily I got some advice from my Chinese stepmother. I'm so glad she told me. She said take a scarf and wrap it around your belly right after giving birth. I was like, what? What kind of size? What technique? She didn't give me much details. Then I started researching, and I found this technique called Bengkong belly binding. It's a Malaysian tradition, and it's basically a 20-meter piece of fabric. I call it a scarf. With the width of 20 centimeters. So very thin and very long. And you take that fabric, this scarf, let's call it belly scarf, and you bind your belly from the bottom, from your hip, basically from your pubic bone and the hips, until the under your breast. And what it does is it helps so many things actually. Like it will help with your back, because when you're pregnant you like tend to lean forward to even out the weight that you have from the baby. So your back gets kind of weak, your stomach muscles also, because they split. So it helps your posture, it helps your back when you breastfeed to stay straight. And it helps your stomach muscles to be pushed back together and to grow back together. That's so important. Like some women, they are lucky and it comes naturally, or their stomach muscles don't split. But I know that lots of women are suffering from that because they cannot fix it anymore. In the US, unfortunately, it's common to have like a mommy makeover. Sounds terrible. Where you like snip, you know, like cut away that skin. Of course, that's not a solution. Skin is elastic. You cannot just, I mean, yeah, you can cut a piece away, but I don't think that the result is that satisfying either. And there's this, that's why I want to share this, because it's such a simple solution in my head. It's not expensive. You can do it yourself. And for me, after binding it, the Bangkok belly scarf on myself, after 3 weeks, my stomach looked like before. It was amazing. So, to get back to the other benefits of it, it also helps to reposition the organs to the original place. And in the postpartum period, your, what is it called in English? I'm not native English, maybe you know this. The ligaments, they get soft so you can give birth easier. Like your hip widens, your chest widens, the ribs, so also there's space for the baby. And many women, after giving birth for their first child, they like wider with the bones, like concerning the bones, because of that. And with this Bangkok belly binding, you can mold back, shape back the body into its original shape, which is like genius, because the postpartum period, like 4 to 6 weeks after giving birth, those ligaments are still soft. The hormone relaxin, I think it was, is still active, so you can mold it back, so to say. And I think that's great. It's so simple and it makes such a difference. So if there's interest, I will go into more detail with the Bangkok belly binding, maybe show a video how to do it, how you can make your own scarf and so on. Let me know in the comments below. And tip number 4, breastfeeding, seriously. Like I thought, like before I got pregnant, I always had like a few kilos too much, in my opinion, to feel comfortable, to feel at my ideal weight. And then it already went very quickly that I lost my weight after giving birth. And then through the breastfeeding, it just kept on going down to my ideal weight. And I was like, oh my God. I always thought it's the opposite, that you would like not like that your body is not that nice after having a child, and that you have to like just live with it, and that's how it is. That's your mom, you know. And all gynecologists, all doctors always told me that, because I asked, how can you prevent the stomach, the muscles from splitting? What can I do to heal better? And they all said, nothing, that's just how it is. Your mom accepted, you know. And I'm so glad for Chinese medicine or Asian medicine, different cultures that have traditions that make so much sense, and that I got to learn about it. And I'm very curious actually to hear from other cultures, what are your traditions, what do you do anyway in the postpartum period, or also already during pregnancy and during birth, because I feel that our Western countries, they still have a lot to learn, you know. Especially for the postpartum period, I feel that for most women it's expected to be back working and all those things after like 2 weeks or maybe a bit longer, but it's crazy, you know. You really gotta heal properly. So about the healing in postpartum, I will also make another video because I think that's very important. But for now, for the flat stomach, these are my 4 tips. And if I should go in more detail with any of those, please let me know. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Bye bye!